Hello, good afternoon to everyone. The concept behind this conference was to view arms control on the backdrop of the turmoil and changes that have been occurring in the Arab world over the past year. But of course, the past 2 weeks, as Oded mentioned, have once again thrust Iran to the forefront of Middle East development. So I'm sure that the discussion tomorrow will be even more interesting than if we had held this conference a month ago, and it was planned. In any case, in this opening panel, we do want to explore the shifting regional dynamics, the internal changes in some of the Arab states, but especially what this means for regional politics, as well as for the emerging context that arms control efforts will have to relate to. And we have 4 very distinguished speakers for this task. But before introducing the speakers, a few words of welcome and thanks. The welcome goes, as Oded says, to all of our speakers, but I really want to mention our 5 guests from abroad, and I'll mention their names alphabetically. We have Camille Grand from France, Nurshin Guni from Turkey, Carlo Mazzala from Germany, Erzsébet Roja from Hungary, and W. Paul Sidhu from India. And their titles and positions and bios can all be found in the conference booklet. We're also very pleased to welcome Mr. Robert Silverman from the U.S. Embassy in Tel Aviv. My thanks go to the co-organizers that I worked with on this conference, to Shlomo Brom, Senior Research Fellow at INSS, and to Nadav Kedem, who's a Neubauer Research Fellow who's working on the Arms Control Project. Thanks also to Kenan Ben Ezra, he's a research assistant in the Arms Control Program, to Judy Rosen, as always, the editor of INSS, to Kobe Pinchas, and of course to Deborah Oppenheimer for her invaluable help on all aspects of organizing this conference. A final word of thanks to Oded Eran, Director of INSS. This is one of the last events that Oded will preside over before he ends his term as INSS Director. And I want to thank him personally for his ongoing encouragement and for his support for the Arms Control Program over the past 3.5 years. And now to our panel. We have 4, as I said, distinguished speakers. Each will speak for around 20 minutes, and then we will have plenty of time for Q&A. I hope what they say will raise a lot of questions. Our first speaker is Professor Asher Sasser of the Moshe Dayan Center at Tel Aviv University. He is the Stanley and Eileen Gold Senior Fellow at the Moshe Dayan Center. Professor Sasser is a distinguished and esteemed professor in Middle East affairs. He's a frequent speaker at our conferences at INSS. He's also a very prolific author, as you can see from his bio, and we are most happy to have him once more at INSS. Asher.